Hello and welcome to the 7 steps of the logo design process. So the first step we have is all about defining what the problem is. This is usually done through asking the client questions to help them understand what it is, and also to understand it for ourselves if they already know. The client will then ask us questions as the designer to see if we are the right fit for solving the problem and how we might go about solving that problem. This can be done face-to-face through meetings or workshops. Now this is probably the most valued method of defining the problem, as you're guiding the client to solving the problem and throughout the process so that they understand exactly what is happening. You can then, if you can't meet up face-to-face, you can give each other a call. Make sure you write down notes, making sure that you can then revert back to them as reference later on in the process, so you know and remember exactly what was said. Or you can simply make a creative brief, send it off via email, which the client will then answer in their own time. Although this can be quite frustrating for the client, as they have to then figure out exactly what all this terminology that we as designers use may mean. Now, when you're making a creative brief, you want to make sure that it includes understanding or trying to figure out what the client's target audience is, what their visions and objectives are for the future, and also maybe a bit of history of the company and what exactly they sell. Now, you can go in the description below. I have actually attached a creative brief for you guys to use for free, so go ahead and use that if you want to dive in a little deeper. Once you have defined exactly what the problem is with your client, you then want to hit the discovery stage. Now this stage is all about finding as many references as possible, both online with the use of Pinterest, which you can create a board, which is very helpful, as you can name it, add as many images as you would like that you think would help you with ideas, send it off to the client, where they can collaborate with you and make the process a whole lot more enjoyable. You can then also head outdoors to exhibitions and museums, where you might find a whole load of new ideas from highly recognised artists and designers. So once you have soaked up as much information as possible, you then want to go on to the ideation stage. Now this is best done by simply getting a piece of paper and writing down every single word that comes to your mind with the use of a mind map, or just sketch as many ideas as possible as well. You don't have to be very good at sketching, you just need to just get your ideas on paper so that you can communicate it to the client, and also so that you can use it as a reference for yourself later on, as you're likely to forget most of the ideas you come up with. But it's always handy that you have it by your side so that you can revert back to it as you move throughout the process. So you need to come up with at least 2 or 3 ideas that you're going to send off to the client that you think would be a perfect solution to the problem that you define during the defining stage. Now these ideas are then discussed with the client, and together you will pick one solid solution which allows you to move on to the development stage. Now with this idea that you've chosen, you want to develop it with the use of Adobe Illustrator, where you're going to vectorize it and experiment with it further. So you can then trace the idea that you have sketched with the use of the pen tool. You then want to create more variations of it with the use of different colours that you think would suit the solution, and also play around with more shapes, maybe adding or removing certain elements to really captivate the idea and make it as solid as possible. So once you have developed your idea, you then want to send it off to the client and gather as much feedback as possible. It's also a great idea to go to the potential audience that they're trying to target and see what they would think, because then you have a really good understanding and statement to use when they might ask why you use particular elements in the logo design. You can then revert back to, oh, because this target audience believe that this would be a great fit, they would really enjoy buying this product if it had this sort of experience. So once you have gathered all of the feedback, you're then likely to have a few negative statements. Now, you want to improve all of these and make the solution as positive as possible so that it is in its strongest form. Now, once you have made all of these alterations and corrections, you then want to move on to actually implementing the idea, to actually solving that original problem that you had in mind. Now, this will mean that it's going to be across banners, posters, social media and websites, and you'll see your design live and breathe as it should. And yeah, so that they are the 7 steps of the logo design process. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment down below if you want to learn anything else. I'm more than happy to help. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.